Yeah, rock and roll.
Here we go, rocking and rolling. It's Friday. It's the beginning of the weekend. But before we get to the nitty-gritty of pounding some suds, Marc Beghin joins me live, talking some lacrosse, some sticks, some balls. I had a wonderful view and a tour of the Pembina Source for Sports and lots of lacrosse sticks kicking around. Marc, how is the season kind of wrapping up? I know we're kind of getting into the winter time. Does that slow down for lacrosse here in Manitoba?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So right now it's basically off season right now for locally. So right now is the AGM season. It's the political season. So programs are winding up and they're coming to a head. And now it's time to head into our annual general meetings for both the Manitoba Lacrosse Association and the Red River Lacrosse Association. So that's what's coming up. October 20th. It's a Sunday. Both AGMs are actually scheduled at the same time, just to try and make it a little bit more convenient for everyone to come out and participate. It is kind of a long day for some, but for those guys who are committed to lacrosse, it's no big deal. So first up, we have the Red River Lacrosse Association annual general meeting. That's going to be 1 p.m. at Sonova Center up on North Perimeter. So that'll be interesting. There's a few positions that are open there. Something of note that we're really kind of excited about, we've created 2 new positions. In the past, we've had 2 director-at-large positions. Instead, this year, and I think it's a sign of the times, it's about time for us to make a change. We've got a brand new director of female box lacrosse position available, which is really great. That's kind of setting up for the 2021 Canada Games. We have a female contingent that has to be represented in Manitoba. So the Red River Lacrosse Association is going to do its best to have begin a league, a fledgling league for female box lacrosse. We're really excited to do this. And the next position that we've started is Director of Indigenous Initiatives. So that's something that we're looking for. We're looking to grow the Indigenous content, the Indigenous relations, and more importantly, we need to have some more Indigenous referees and coaches take part in lacrosse. So we're really, really excited to offer those 2 new positions. They are working positions. All positions on the board are working positions. And we need some people that are pretty dedicated to come out to that. So we're really excited about that one.
So both of these positions, Marc, just so I'm correct, are replacing the at-large positions available, and they'll be giving actual positions in tune for the 2021, as well as creating more responsible involvement and relationships within the lacrosse community and with the females in the Indigenous group, correct?
Absolutely. Grossly underrepresented female sector in lacrosse, or for Manitoba, for lacrosse in Manitoba. We do have female programs across the nation, and including Saskatchewan has something going, Nova Scotia, BC, Ontario, of course, and Alberta. But this is brand new. We're really excited to offer this. And yeah, they do replace the director-at-large positions. In general, director-at-large positions are kind of not very clear. And we want to kind of provide a little bit more focus for what's happening at the board and the board level also for our volunteers.
Explain the involvement with having a board position for those that might be interested in getting involved per se. Like, how many meetings is there? Is there a monthly meeting? Is there a quarterly meeting? How many hours roughly are spent in each position? I mean, each position is different, of course. Can you give a little bit of a rundown on, the new positions that are open, as well as, the dedication it requires to sit on the board?
That's a really, really good question. It's really challenging for minor sports, first off, to get people. The next real big challenge is to get people that are out to work and to do what's best for the sport, not just a specific agenda. We meet quite often. Since we've kind of taken over, myself and the president and the existing executive have increased the amount of meetings up to about, we like to meet every 3 weeks. We could meet every 2 weeks if we'd like. There's a lot of work to be done. Those meetings themselves are often 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, 3 hours apiece. And we do go over a lot of different things. We have a lot of content, especially at the league level, from everything from scheduling to referees to incidents to new initiatives to the specific concerns all the way down to individuals. We do address everything. As far as hours go, really tough to put a number on that. but it is pretty significant commitment. That is something to be aware of. As soon as the AGM's done on the 20th, we'll strike a meeting most likely in the following 2 weeks, and we will be working diligently and very hard up until the start of the season, which is about April 1st, to organize the league in a new direction this year, to build on what we did last year, and make some positive changes.
So you hinted about some changes where, I mean, obviously the planning and the programming, the scheduling is vital prior to April. Where do you want this program to move with, the current board members and your discussions?
Yeah, you know what? That's really good. So lacrosse is at a very, very great position right now, a great opportunity. Sky's the limit, and we're on our way up. We've always centered, since we've kind of we did 3 different surveys. We did a player engagement survey, coach and officials survey. So those 3 facets are something that we're concentrating on in order to improve the state of lacrosse in Manitoba. So number 1 is player experience. That's what we're focusing on. That's very broad-based. These are also very broad-based goals that we're looking for. Next is officials experience. We need the officials they're part of our game. They're important to our game. We can't in any sport have games without officials, and it's very important for us to concentrate on those. And then it's the experience of coaching. So those 3 facets are our overarching directional goals that we're looking for. So as far as player experience, we want to get the most for the players. We want them to be able to play a lot, but we also want them to practice and develop. And that's something that Manitoba Lacrosse has not done a good job with, or lacrosse in Manitoba, pardon me, has not done a good job at training our players, but we've done a good job at playing. And unfortunately, the ratio is out of whack with the rest of the nation, and we can have some serious inroads on there. On top of it, we're looking at doing some fun things for the player experience this year. We have our eye on looking towards player awards this year, which we haven't done. And we're looking at all-star game for each age group and skill level midway through the season. So that's really, really new. We're really excited about that one. As far as officials go, our initiative there is abuse of officials and respect in sport. So that's something that we're going to focus on. We value our officials. We want them a part of the game, and we want to make sure that they're treated with the utmost. The majority of the officials are minors. They're underage. Yeah. And we have people, acting inappropriately, as in many sports, and they're losing sight of what's really, really important. Right.
It's amazing you mentioned that, Mark, just to cut you off, because the sportsmanship in, minor sports over the entire gamut, whatever sports you play, sure, there's sportsmanship that's taught on the ice or on the surface, but the sportsmanship off the surface and for the viewership isn't taught. And that, I think, needs to be heavily addressed, not just by, associations, by parents in general. And
yes.
And for the most part, I mean, Sport Manitoba is doing great jobs with their P series and whatnot. And there should be some serious direction with parents understanding their role as spectators and their role in fair game and fair play and sportsmanship towards not just the players, but the officials as well. I mean, you and I have probably been officials in many different sports. I've been a coach, and I've been put in situations where, like you, we don't feel things are done fairly. But at the same time, they're out there to do a job, and they're doing their best to their abilities. And without players, we don't have a sport. Without coaches and without officials per se, we don't have the opportunity to have a fair game being played on any surface, period.
I agree 100%. And here's the thing is that just imagine if there were no officials.
Oh,
how would games go?
It would be lacrosse 300 years ago on an open field, 1500 versus 300, and you know who's going to win.
You're 100% correct. Despite some things that happen, and officials are people. They have various levels of development. They have various levels of training and experience, and they have different perspectives of everyone. And the thing is that they're developing just like the players at the same speed as the players. A first-year official does not know 100% of the rule book, let alone the calls when they see them. So why would we hold them to such an unreasonable standard, right? Yeah. That's really, really important for us to focus on those officials and come to a proper understanding After all, we're in control of ourselves when we're out there. And you can choose to yell at that, most likely a child referee, or you don't. And we want to change the culture and change the perspective. And that's going to be a long road to hoe, but we're going to get it done.
It's smart that you're starting it, which is a great initiative. And gathering the information from all three groups of players, officials, and coaches is a huge undertaking. How are we able to do such a thing? Was it done over this past season? Has it been accumulating over the last couple of years? Ingoing players, outgoing players. I mean, all of this information has to be properly assessed and, recorded.
Hey, you know what? It sounds like an extremely daunting project, but it's actually fairly simple. There's some programs out there, and I'm going to be very revealing for the reviewers and whoever sees this. It's simple. It's a program called SurveyMonkey. Go and get a subscription. They have different templates that you can use. I have some history using that in my workplace and school, so I kind of had a leg up. But at the end of the day, if you're listening to this from any other sport organization, go get a SurveyMonkey subscription, put it to your mail list, mail it out to everyone, and let's let the results roll in. So that's what we did. So it was done for the first time just around New Year's this year. And the results of that were pretty significant. We put out over 500 resumes, or 500 surveys, and we received over 233 responses. And if you know anything about marketing and statistics, it's significant.
Well, when the politicians only get 11% return, I'll take over close to 50 any day.
Exactly. So needless to say, we used the results of that to guide our decisions this year. And you know what? Some interpretation off of that survey was not to what some people thought. So we will be doing another one again. This is something that we're going to be doing going forward. See that again after the AGM. We're going to do another experience, and we're going to clarify and start digging down into some more issues. But it's as simple as that. It's not that hard. It's not rocket science. There's programs out there. I'm sorry, I'm pitching SurveyMonkey. I'm gonna pitch another one. It's called MailChimp. It's another one that allows you to handle your mailing and see how many things have been opened, the success rate, and allows you to have some templates. We use that as well too for communications. Those two things married together make for a great way to bring information and data back to our association.
And the word analytics is so important when it comes to social media and, driving numbers and making sure you see the correct number of views per play, or whether you're doing a subscription or whether you're doing a mailing out. You want to see the true analytics of who it's reaching and whatnot. And I congratulate you on, using the easy communications, because, our lives are crazy. Don't get me wrong. And if it can be done by someone that's already made the program, let's do it. Let's whip it up. So.
Yeah. And you're right. When you match up the SurveyMonkey or surveying with the ability to see how effective your email is with social media and the analytics, it gives you a very accurate and good picture of what's happening in data within your subset of people. So I do encourage everyone. This is amateur sport television. Everyone needs a hand up. I'm here to help. Information is power. Make sure you guys empower yourselves for sure.
So we're at the AGM October 20th. Was one of them at 1 o'clock? The other one's at 5:30, right?
Yeah, so we just spoke quite heavily on the Red River Lacrosse Association.
We got the one at 5:30 coming up too.
Yep, and the one at 5:30 is the Manitoba Lacrosse Association, which is the parent group. It's the next level up, the umbrella, so to speak. And that's at 5:30 at Sturgeon Heights Community Center in St. James, shortly after the Red River Lacrosse Association. This one's a little bit unique. There's been a bit of turnover at the board, and as it stands right now, every position is available. So that's president, secretary, treasurer, and 5 director at large positions are all available for nomination in lacrosse.
So are we're looking for brand new people. We're looking for people that are involved in lacrosse nation here in Manitoba. Is there any type of qualifications that people need to fulfill these positions, or nomination, of course?
Well, first things first, you have to be a Manitoba Lacrosse member. Okay, so that's the number one thing that you need. So that's players over 18, coaches, board members, people as such. In order to be nominated, you have to put your nomination, or you have to send a nomination in writing 14 days ahead of time, which is this Sunday. So we got to get on that right away if you're interested in it. As far as qualifications goes, you know what? The number one thing is that now in lacrosse, we need people and volunteers who are here to work. That's what we're looking for. We need people that are going to take initiative and get things done. It's no longer just showing up to a meeting and just letting things fly. There's a lot of eyes on the lacrosse community, and especially in these boards positions moving forward, given the current level that we're at. We're at a spot where the only way for us to go is up at this point. So it's very important. It does help quite a bit to have a lacrosse background, and especially if you had a lacrosse leadership background. Just simply showing up and making decisions that impact all of the league, and not just Red River Lacrosse Association, but also the Manitoba High School Field Association and other associations is very important.
And not to mention the very, recent upcoming future, like 2020, 2021. We've got some serious events happening, yep. Western Canada, Manitoba, where we're going to be put kind of in a spotlight, if you will. And we need to make sure we're showing true, strong colors.
You're absolutely right. So next year, 2020, we have the World Junior Indoor Championship coming here. That's there's many partnerships going on with that right now. I just recently had a meeting with Chris Fox, who's the organizer, and he's got different connections that are happening, including with MTS, True North, Tourism Manitoba, I believe. And a few other inroads that are happening. The idea with this is that they want to bring lacrosse to underserved markets that are non-traditional, which is us, although we have been playing lacrosse since 1870 here in Manitoba. Yeah. But needless to say, and what they want to do is set off a legacy and promote the game. So that's really, really cool. That's coming up 2020 at Bell MTS Center, right? Or is it Place? Which one do we have?
Bell MTS Place.
Sorry, True North. So
Chipman's okay with that.
I bet he probably it's all good.
He probably gets it all the time.
Oh, he's super tuned in right now too. That being said, following up is 2021. That's Canada Games, which by the way, the staffs have been picked. We're really excited to see Manitoba get represented in Niagara for the 2021 Canada Games. I myself was with some of the staff out in Regina this past weekend doing our competition development training, which is NCCP high-level stuff. Blew my mind. It was absolutely fantastic to be a part of it. So we're really excited to see them step up also. So there's some big things happening over the next few years. Yeah,
and it definitely is an opportunity for Manitoba as a province to really show the steps made forward and the progressions we've had over the short time that you've been involved, Mark. So kudos to you and the group that you're with. Great conversation about getting involved here with Manitoba Lacrosse as a parent, as a coach, and more importantly with these board meetings, these AGMs coming up in October. If you need a voice and you want to be that voice and you're a doer, not just a sayer, we don't need soothsayers, we need just doers. Come out and join Mark. I mean, this is it's a big task, but with many great hands, it becomes light work for all, right?
Absolutely. So we got to get out there, and like I said, we're on the way down. So we need a lot of hands to push that ball up the hill and make it happen.
It's harder to push the ball up the hill, but once it gets up there, those balls come rolling down at good speeds.
Flying down. Be careful.
That double bounce on that ball on that surface, let me tell you, I'll never forget.
That backspin's nasty. Look out.
Exactly. The forespin, the backspin. We'll leave it with the balls, Mark. Thank you very much. Great to fit that in. Good segue. Again, the best dressed man in lacrosse, Marc Beghin, with discussions of AGMs. Do get out there. Sonova Center, 1 o'clock. Sturgeon Heights Community Center, 5:30, August 20th. And I hope you see a good turnout for both those meetings, Mark, and have yourself a good weekend.
Theo, thank you very much, and thank you very much for Amateur Sport TV also for your time. Have yourself a good day. All
right, take care. That's Marc Beghin, the best dressed man in lacrosse here in Manitoba. And we'll touch base with you next month, Mark, see how those AGMs went and the future and the ongoing details of lacrosse here before season in April, which won't be too far away.
Excellent. Take care.